Geminis, what does Spirit see for you this year? Oh boy. So this is hard. Now I have to detach myself. So the first 3 months look fairly exhausting. I'm kind of looking at this. I just kind of want to take a nap. You may be moving, relocating, shifting your work into another career, or moving from your place of work into another building or something like that. You are also going to have to examine who's coming along with you. So even right down to your personal relationships of my children, my family, even relationships with my parents, my lover, are they coming with me or no? So I see a lot of boundary setting within those relationships. Mostly it's nose to the grind time for the first 3 months, January, February, March, and with huge payout after that. So it's April, May, June, it looks like it's picking up. It reminds me of a snowball effect where it starts to just sort of pick up on its own, and that's good. And then it looks to me like August and September. September is slowing down a little bit, but August is almost like the peak of prosperity. So a lot of payouts, things being loosened and finally given to you, blessings being delivered, you being seen, you being heard, you being recognized. Great time to publish, launch podcasts, get on YouTube, what have you, speak in front of audiences. You may also be hired for a teaching position, a speaking position. You may be given a position of leadership within the company that you work for or whatever. And then, in September, it seems to quiet down a little bit. And then it's nose to the grind time again. It almost feels like a revisitation of first 3 months in November and December. And looking at especially those relationships again, whether they're resurrecting and testing you, or you're re-examining and saying, okay, now I need to, set better boundaries. But sort of a quiet time and more of an introspective time, almost like you're reinventing yourself on a personal and spiritual level, getting ready for that next level up in 2022. Christina, what do you got?
So Saturn asks you, wherever Saturn's transiting, it asks you to be a boss, okay? So I just find this very interesting for you particularly because Saturn is in your 9th house, Geminis, and Uranus is in the 12th. So the 9th house is literally religion, philosophy, faith, law, travel, higher education. So your worldview, you're asking to be a boss up in this area. So it's this is where you're going to do the hard work, but an opportunity is promised to you there. And that's squaring off with Uranus, and that is in your 12th house, which is karmic endings, behind the scenes, spiritual development, places where people are hidden, like prisons and hospitals. So could have something to do with that as well. The 12th house tends to be more subconscious. So if you are not spiritually aware, or, sometimes it just, if you're not really mindful, then sometimes that can be more self-sabotaging. So, but I think most of the people watching are probably very mindful. So this is funny because the eclipse axis is in your 1st and 7th. So we have the self versus partnerships. So we have some shakeups there. How are you connecting with others, yet preserving your own self or preserving your identity, but yet partnering with others. So there's big shifts in this area all year long for you guys. And Mercury retrogrades, so you're rethinking and redoing. And in January and February, it's in the 9th house. So that's the religion, philosophy, law, travel, higher education. May, June, it's the 1st house, which is the self, identity, how people see you, how the world sees you. And then it happens in the 5th house in September and October. So this is romance, creative projects, talents and abilities, and children. So, we're rethinking and redoing those areas. And as far as love goes, I definitely think in September, Mars is going to go into Libra. So that's going to be probably a good time to start a romance or meet somebody. But, when that Mercury goes retrograde, you'll be kind of rethinking what you want in a relationship, what you want in a romance.